Hello, good evening, one and all. This is actually round two. You never saw round one, had issues with Wi Fi connectivity. So, this is going to be short and sweet. Welcome, one and all, to Seas of Wisdom Tuesday night, Facebook Live, 9:30 ish plus 20. So, like I said, I had a few connectivity issues, and also, I must admit, I fell asleep. So, for those of you who don't know, I've been in Ghana for the last 4 days. Evening, Junior. Hope you are well. Good to see you on here. A short flying visit to Ghana. It was my great aunt's 80th birthday, and I went over there for 4 days. So another flying visit. I was over there in January for 6 days. Hey Vicky, how you doing? Nice to see you. I was over there for 6 days in January, but that was under sadder circumstances. That was to attend the funeral of my dad. So this time it was a lot happier circumstances, but I'm a bit tired. Overnight flight, and then they didn't get much sleep. But to be honest, the next couple of weeks, I think I'm on holiday again. My wife's organised for us to go with a family holiday, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be bringing this to you internationally or not at all. So I wanted to bring this to you. It's going to be a quick one, and the message, the title was "What are you pouring in?" The inspiration for this was actually in Ghana. It was on a Sunday afternoon. My aunt was having her second party of the weekend. We was in our house. The music was pumping. Heat was hot. I was sweating outside. I was just sitting outside or standing outside, just taking in the environment, the circumstances, the people, and I was sweating. It just made me think about the human body. It made me think that when one thing occurs, as a result, something else can happen. So when the body is hot, its reaction is to sweat it out. When you consume food, inevitably you need to go to the toilet. When you drink fluid, inevitably you need to go to the toilet. And it just got me thinking, with the human body, God has designed it so, and often circumstances, when one thing happens as a result, when you put something in or something goes in, as a result, something comes out. And it just made me think about what is it I'm pouring into, using that analogy for what is I'm doing in my life in terms of what am I putting my efforts into, what am I pouring into, and as a result, what is pouring out. And so I thought this message might be of help to someone. Like I say, totally random thoughts I was having. That's often what happens with my messages. Just totally a thought, an analogy, something meaning one thing, and I take it as an example to mean or to apply it to certain other areas of your life. So this is what my question is to you guys today. What are you pouring into? What is it you're pouring in? If you're pouring negative things in, they say you are often the result of the five friends or the closest people you're surrounded. So if you're around negative people, it's more than likely that you're going to be negative. Even if you're a positive person, who you're around with, your environment does affect you. It does affect you, and you've got to fight really hard. If you're around negative people, you've got to fight really hard to stay positive or surround yourself with positive people. My question is to you today: what are you pouring into, or who are you pouring into? I did a message a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about make it about something about making it about people, not profit or figures or something like that. And I was talking about setting goals in terms of how many people you're going to help rather than how much money you're going to make, and that can often be much more powerful. So my wife and I must admit, it's totally my wife who does this. We sponsor a few children for a charity called Compassion that involves writing to them, supporting them financially, spiritually, emotionally as well. And we sponsor, I believe we sponsor three children actually. There's one with another charity which I instigated as such. And we actually met one. I actually met one of the children while I was away in Ghana. It was a real pleasure. A young man who's doing really well in life, but to actually see him, to see where our money is going, where our prayers are going, and when we write the letters are going, is good to see, and it's a motivation to be successful in what we're doing, so we can help him to be successful. So I want you two guys to think about what is it you're pouring into, not just about sweat and what the examples I gave before, not the most glamorous examples, but take that as an analogy to what is it you're pouring into, And just as a side note, just as a caveat, if you like, what you pour into doesn't often pour out in the same measure. We live in an unfair world. We live in a bit of an upside down world. So, for example, if you make 50 sales calls, it's not always the case that you're going to get 50 sales. You may need to make 100 phone calls to get one sale. After those 100 calls, you might find call 101, 100, 200, 300, 4. You may be hitting sales. It's yeah. But like I say, we live in an unfair world. We live in a bit of an upside down world. So I've been doing Seeds of Wisdom now for almost 1 year, Facebook Live. I've been pouring into this, and I don't know the whole result. I don't know what the outpouring of this is. Yeah, sometimes I see people pop up saying they've been watching. I don't know, and often Facebook will tell me sometimes 50 people watching, 20 people, what have you. I don't know who those 23 people. I'd love to know, but I don't know who those 23 people are. I don't know who everyone who watches Seeds of Wisdom. I don't know if they watch it through to the end. I don't know if they happen to just scroll past it by accident and think, who's this, whatever, and flick on. I don't know the outpouring. I don't know the result. I don't know what impact Seeds of Wisdom has had. I know it's had some impact, positive impact, because of the feedback you give to me, which is really grateful. I'm really grateful to hear it is. But I started this, yes, to help people, but also to help myself, to help my confidence, to give back, to kind of show, I don't know, show who, whatever that, how far I've come in terms of the journey, the battle I've had with overcoming shyness, to do the second most feared thing in the world, which is public speaking, and the first is death. Just to show that whole journey where I am now, and with time I've got confident. I don't know how many people watched all my Facebook lives, but as I've done it, I've poured and I've got more confident. It's made me think about, do I pursue public speaking in the future and do further training, or do I just do this and just help somebody, or is this a part of a legacy I'm leaving to my children with the power of technology, that they'll be able to watch this one day and be inspired, or just to see what their dad made an effort to do. So I don't know. So what I pour into this will not necessarily pour out in equal measure, but it's important to pour in and think about what you're pouring into, and is it what you want, and think about who you're pouring into, or who is pouring into you. There's a lot of things you can do with this question, a lot of ways you can take it. So that's it. Shortish message. I believe I've been going for about 10 minutes. Short, sharp and sweet. Any comments? I'd love to hear how this message has impacted you. If you feel it can impact someone else, then share this message with them. If not, this is available to watch on Facebook somewhere on a replay, or on my channel on YouTube. And God willing, perhaps I'll be able to do another Facebook Live internationally. I can't remember when I'm flying away. But God willing, I'll be back next Tuesday. If not, it'll be a few weeks. And the Shyman smile is coming. Hopefully it's a bit brighter. I've been to the dentist, so I've had a good look at my teeth. And thank you all who have poured into me. Let's leave that, yeah. Thank you all who pour into me. Thank you for those who are pouring into me at the moment. For those of you, this is my year of breakthrough. This is the year where I break through certain barriers in certain areas of my life. And to help me do that, I'm surrounding myself, or I'm aligning myself with people who are beyond where I want to be. But by being around them will lift me to those higher heights, so I can have a bigger impact on more people in this short life, because it is a short life we have. So that's it. Love you, leave you. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you soon.